All right. Hello, people of the Dead Channel. I'm back. Starship's third attempt, ship 37 and booster 16. Hopefully, it'll go well. We're T minus 2 minutes and 20 seconds, and hopefully, it won't get scrubbed due to weather for the third time.
During
I'm
our
begging.
attempt. So really exciting to see. But we're coming up on 2 minutes. We've got a green range. We are green for weather. Green has always been my favorite color.
It's
only
green
more so
this
now.
time.
And we are not tracking any issues with the vehicle today. So we are looking good. 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, again, not planning on holding at T minus 40 seconds right now, but in case we do pass that and any issues come up, we can recycle the count. We're pretty lucky that we have this ability. Falcon doesn't have that built in, but being a developmental program, this affords us a lot more flexibility. So super useful to be able to have that.
Oh, why is the quality
not
so
currently
low?
tracking any issues, so
Should be at
hopefully
4K.
we'll be good to launch today.
All right, coming up on 90 seconds. We've got a pretty good crowd gathering with us right outside Star
But I'll
Factory
speed run
here.
this. Mission objectives are the same. They're hoping to deploy dummy Starlink satellites, relight an engine, and hopefully have attitude control when they re-enter the atmosphere. The booster will not be returned today. Last I checked, they're going to do some special things with the center engines for the landing burn. And yeah, should be pretty good if they're not scrubbing.
1 minute to go to launch.
It is a gorgeous time to launch as always, though.
At T minus 40, not tracking any reason to stop there. So
no significant cloud cover.
See us go right through that. All right, we are through T minus 40. We are counting down. We're going to let our flight director, Maciek Batura, take us the rest of the way. 30 seconds. The 10th.
Go ship 37. Ship 36 died for you. Better be locked in.
T minus 15. T minus 10. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. We have liftoff.
There goes.
Vehicle pitching downrange.
Oh, they have an attitude thing on the left now. That's sick. We were missing one of those. Oh, look at Starship go. They got those good tracking cameras as well.
Avionics power and telemetry nominal.
Getting good call outs, healthy systems on the booster as it starts to pitch over the Gulf.
It's Max Q.
All right, we're a little over 1 minute into flight, about to pass through Max Q.
Oh, the vapor. So good.
All right, so we are through the period of maximum dynamic pressure, max stress on the vehicle as it continues to fly.
Our next major event is going to be hot staging, which is happening in just over 90 seconds from now. To get ready, the booster will shut down all but 3 of its Raptor engines. The clamps holding the 2 stages together will release, and the Starship second stage ignites its engines. The ship then separates from the Super Heavy booster and heads to space. At the same time, the 3 engines still firing on Super Heavy will flip the booster around. 10 more engines
good
will
old
ignite
stove plume, I love it.
putting the first stage on the path for splashdown in the Gulf. As we mentioned earlier, the hot stage will be jettisoned for this flight, and that should occur just after the boost back burn. So we're about to shut down the first stage and perform hot staging. So let's just watch and listen.
Ooh, one center engine went out.
right, seeing the engine start to throttle down.
Miko. Ship ignition. Boost back burn startup.
Stage separation.
Goes vertical, looks gorgeous. That engine's staying out.
Stage separation confirmed. We've got 6 engines running on ship. Booster is doing its boost back burn, continuing now towards its splashdown site in the Gulf. We are seeing all 6 Raptors lit up on ship.
Look at that Starship contrail.
You heard them report ship chamber pressures nominal, so that chamber pressure, just that expected thrust level in those Raptor engines on the ship. 3 vacuum optimized, 3 sea level, all looking good.
That looks pretty.
There's a view into the
Nothing
business
glowing
end
red.
from the ship.
Boost back burn shutdown.
All right, so at this point, we finished our boost back burn, so that was shut down. So that's the first of the 2 burns after a launch that the booster's going to do today. So now it's headed towards the Gulf. It's not going to be quite as an aggressive of a flight down. We relax that angle of attack a little bit, but we are then going to be looking for it to do its engine tests for the landing burn, and those are going to be a little unique this time.
Yeah, typically we start with all 13 inner engines lit for that landing burn and bring that down to just the center 3. But one of our test objectives for today is to simulate what an engine out situation would look like. So we're going to be intentionally turning off one of those center 3 and instead lighting one of the engines from the middle 10 ring.
Yeah, we did see one of those engines in the middle ring shut down during the initial ascent. Oh, looks like we have hot stage jettison. You can see it floating away there to the left of the booster. Yeah, we did see one of those middle engines shut down during the ascent. Again, we are resilient to engine out on Super Heavy. That's why we're able to get through our ascent. Starship flying on the expected path. There's still a chance that engine could be back in the mix for the very start of the landing burn, so we'll see if we light up all 13. But we've even done a landing burn at the tower with an engine out, so very resilient. We'll see how it does on its way down to the Gulf, though.
It's like I got my eye on Starship right now.
All right, so we got a couple
You
of
better
minutes.
not do anything.
Landing burn start should be just about 40 seconds away. That's always rad. You can see the boost plume itself in the background as it was coming in.
See if we could see the
Right,
there it
20
is.
seconds till
Ah,
landing burn.
the arrow.
Ship Raptor chamber pressures
We'll get a
nominal.
cone. No cone. Oh.
All right, here we go.
There we go. No lost engines. It's good,
Looks
and
like we got 12 of those 13.
it looks good, and that looks like a good landing for it.
3, including one of the middle ring.
This thing has so much redundancy.
Down to 2. Nice little hover. And landing burn shut down.
Now it's just falling.
Into the Gulf, here we come. And the booster has splashed down.
Incredible flight for booster.
Alright,
today.
here's what I'm here for. The booster was locked in.
Back in space. About 7 minutes into today's flight, ship continuing its ascent burn. This goes until just about 9 minutes into our flight. That ship engine cutoff is slated for 8 minutes and 57 seconds. We are going to see those 3 RVAC, the Raptor vacuum engines. Those are the bigger circles, and that little indicator on the bottom right of your screen. Those will shut down first, and we continue burning for a couple seconds longer on those inner 3 before we hit SECO, second engine cutoff.
Yeah, these views are looking great. Once again, thanks to Starlink for getting us these views. It's just incredible. And we just heard the sound from Booster.
It's like we just got a late boom from the booster.
Ship still looks good. It
And
has
there's
that
the ship
very
engine cutoff
nice.
coming up here just
I don't know
shortly.
what that
And
is.
as
I
we
didn't look
mentioned,
into
today's
it,
flight
but
test
it has
is
that
not
very
an
nice like
orbital flight,
thermal
but
paint
rather
on
one
the
that
side,
demonstrates
and
Starship's
the heat
orbital
shield's now
capability.
flat.
Starship from terminal guidance.
Just pretty sick. Looks good.
All right, entering the
They're making it
final
look
phase of
cleaner and
this
cleaner.
mission.
The catch points are a lot more defined. Hopefully
Under
those
30
will
seconds to go.
not be gone by the time we get through reentry. The RVAC's glowing again, though, in the same spot.
All right, shut down the vacuum engines.
There you go. They didn't blow up.
Ship engine cutoff.
We shut down those center 3. Successful ship engine cutoff.
Yeah, now we're looking for attitude control during this.
SECO, baby. There we go. That's what we want.
Nominal orbit insertion.
All right, we just heard the call out for nominal orbital insertion.
All right, so ship is in space. There we go. We're seeing the flaps starting to move into a stowed position. That's why it looks like your camera's moving.
Yeah, exciting to see Starship safely in space, and super pumped to see all the team's hard work in action here today. And of course, as guaranteed, it's been an exciting day so far. We successfully lifted off right on time at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. Thankfully, our weather was looking good today. Yeah, and Booster.
Those tiles are still
we
on
had a
there.
soft
I think we
splashdown
lost
in
like
the
one or
Gulf, so
two. We
ship
lost a few
continues
of
on.
them.
Yeah, ship
Curious
is
why they're
completing
testing
its
that, though.
ascent burn all the way in. You can see some of the shadows start to creep as it's going to be eventually flying into an orbital nighttime. So we'll see some daylight start to go away. But ship is in orbit, completed its burn.
Look at the
and
beautiful anvil
that's
with the
just the
overshooting
beginning.
top down
We've
there.
got a whole bunch more to go.
Looking
So we've
good.
got some exciting demonstrations
Ship
planned
FPS is
while
saved.
we're on orbit. That right there, we just saved the FTS, the flight termination system. That's that automatic flight safety system we have on the vehicle. So that is now turned off while ship starts its coast period. We are coming up. Our next milestone is going to be the deployment of those Starlink simulators. We've got some payload inside of Starship that we're hoping to deploy into space.
Hopefully they
for
have
the
a
very
camera
first
looking back.
time. That deploy is supposed to start at about 18 minutes and 27 seconds into the flight, so just about 7 minutes from now. That deploy will take place over a couple of minutes. It'll go about 1 satellite a minute, so we'll be spread out over that. It might get a little dark, but we've got a couple of views that we can show you to see that deploy in action. After that, we're also looking to do a relight of a single Raptor engine while we are in space. We've done this once before. This is not necessary to deorbit, as we are on a suborbital trajectory, but this is essentially a chance to test out what we need to be able to do a deorbit burn. So we'll be doing that a little bit later in the flight, about 37 minutes or so into the flight, and then we get into reentry. We're looking to get that light show and
Tiles are a
more
little
importantly,
fucked up
get
on
that
the
really critical
lower
data
left
about the
flap.
ship's heat shield.
Yeah, exactly. At about T+45 minutes, we'll be heading for reentry. Again, running those experiments with the tiles. We're going to be doing missing tiles, metallic tiles, and also intentionally loading those vehicles' flaps. Hopefully, we'll also see a splashdown in the Indian Ocean today.
Yeah, we were able to get to a reentry last time, but we didn't have full attitude control, so we weren't able to go in, heat shield first the way we're designed to. So we ended up losing contact with the ship before we could make it all the way through. So you still get data, but you're not really getting the data that we want to make sure we're kind of stress testing the vehicle. As Amanda just said, we removed a bunch of tiles, and we do this in some intentionally scary places on the vehicle because we're really looking, are there spots that were vulnerable to this before we ever start moving towards, putting ship into a full orbital mission to then do reentries a little bit later on. So really, really critical to get that data, really looking forward to a controlled reentry.
Yeah, for sure. As we always say, our main payload is data, but today we also have some actual payload on board, and those simulators that Starship will be deploying, we'll see coming up here in just a few minutes.
Entering
These
Twilight.
are dummy satellites
Oh,
that
they
are
have
about
good
the same
light in
size
here.
as our V3
Oh, that's sick.
Starlinks. We have
Gotta make sure
8
that
in the
door
Starship
opens this
Pez
time.
dispenser and expect to deploy at a rate of about 1 per minute, as Dan mentioned earlier. Starlink is critical in all of our flights on Starship to get our main payload data, as we always say. And in fact, it's Starlink that's currently providing these views you see as Starship cruises a couple hundred kilometers above our home planet and provides real-time telemetry through every phase of flight.
Yeah, we took a peek inside of the Starship payload bay there for a second. So there's 8 of them there. They kind of look just big steel plates, essentially. They're roughly the same size as those V3 satellites. When we do get that view inside of the payload bay, the payload door will kind of be on your right, and we'll start to see them go out like a Pez dispenser. Yeah, here's a look inside. So those right down there in the center, they're kind of 2 stacks of 4 on either side, and then the payload door is just to their right. And so we'll look to see that open, and then those satellites start to go. We vent the nose cone, so we essentially bring it down to vacuum before we open the door. That was one of the things we ran into on the last flight, as when we had that fuel diffuser fail, the pressure in the nose cone became basically too high for the actuator of the door to open. So that's why we weren't able to get the door open that time. We have not seen anything like that on this flight. Everything's looking good with our fuel tank and our fuel press system. So we are hopefully just a couple of minutes away from seeing that payload door open and getting to our first ever payload. It's not the first payload we've ever carried, but it's the first one we're going to try and shoot off into space. All right, so I think we're supposed to open the payload door in just about a minute and change. And you're seeing a little bit of residual gas. And we opened the door once. I want to say it was back on flight 3 when we were able to make it up into space. And you'll kind of see a lot of that gas rushing out into the vacuum of space. It's the residual that's left over.
It looks like liquid. It's
after
really
we've
weird.
already vented it down.
I thought it was inside the tank. If you go and check that,
And then
I was like, "Oh, is that inside the fuel tank?" No, it wasn't. It was in the payload bay.
And as we mentioned, so we have crossed over now at this point into an orbital nighttime. So views from the outside will get pretty dark, but we'll see what we can see. We do this by design. We've been launching these later in the day here in Texas to try and get daytime views when we splash down. So it's daytime over in the Indian Ocean, where we are currently headed.
Just a few seconds until we expect those payload doors to open.
Hopefully it opens. Please, I want to see a Pez dispenser.
All right, one more time.
Waiter, more Pez dispensers,
Open the pod
please.
bay doors, Hal.
There we go. Slides backwards and upwards. Smooth, looks smooth. Beautiful. Good actuation. And that's open. Hell yeah.
So we are currently in payload deploy prep.
It's very much open. That's gas. I swear, I hope they put like a camera on one of these.
And the door is open.
I don't think it would be a good selfie. They need to do a day launch and then put a camera on one of these and launch it out and then peek. You know, you get a
All right, so the payload
selfie
door
of
is
Starship.
open. We should see the first satellites start to deploy at about T plus 18 minutes and 27 seconds. So
18
be
minutes and
only about
27.
30 seconds. So
They're gonna get yeeted out.
one step closer. Hal listened this time. He cooperated. He opened the payload door for us. There's a view kind of behind the Pez. You're looking out into the vacuum of space.
That very happy COPV that totally didn't
That's 15
fuck shit
seconds
up.
until payload deploy.
Oh, don't glitch, camera, please, camera, please. I'm fine with seeing it on top. Let's see it.
Ship has transitioned to payload deploy.
Camera is so ass. Oh. There goes. It's rolling it. Get out of there. Get out. Yeah. Get deployed, idiot. Then it moves it down.
Pew pew. Been waiting way too long to do that. There we go.
There goes another one.
Get thrown, idiot. Get thrown. Get out of there. This isn't your payload bay.
Super exciting moment as you can hear the energy in both Hawthorne and Starbase.
Then should
Everyone's
move
super
down.
excited for finally getting
wanna see it
to
from on
deploy some of
top.
those simulated satellites.
There we go. It moves down.
Pez system moving down. Next row. There we go. As we said, we're going to do about
Grabs it
one
and
every
then
minute or
raises
so.
again.
And this is just kind of a dress rehearsal for when we're going to be deploying the V3 satellites, and these are just a massive increase to Starlink's capability. Each one of them has it's 60 terabits per second of capacity that's going to get added to the network per launch. That's 20 times more than what we're adding with every single Falcon 9 launch today.
And get thrown.
You know, step increase in capability. There goes another one. All right, so as we said, we've got 8 total that we're going to go through today. It's about a minute for each one, but looking good on payload deploy.
There we go, the vertical view. There it goes. These look like pallets, like wooden pallets. That's a pretty cool mechanism. They definitely changed their method of deployment over the years because we used to have the alligator mouth style payload door, and it was a guesstimate. I mean, the way you would deploy something out of that in KSP is you would actually pitch the ship down entirely and then kind of like scoot it back,
All right, so we're
or you
about
would just maneuver
halfway
the
through.
payload out. But I mean, Starlink satellites, weight-wise, they don't want to add too much to it. So you know, like reaction control thrusters and shit, which I'm pretty sure they still do have, but it's still you're just wasting the fuel and service time because they need to reorient these satellites in orbit. You know, just refresh their orbital paths, speed them up or slow them down depending on any conflictions. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. Always getting us that data, and yeah, the amazing views we have on the vehicle today.
Yeah, views brought to you by
It's
Starlink.
really funny how they eat them.
Deploying Starlink simulators before we deploy actual Starlinks. How deep does it go? All right, another one firing out.
This is the last two. Ship 27 is locked in.
Pez looking smooth today.
Could fit just about 60 of these in there. It's crazy. I say last two. Say last four. So he goes up, locks, and then goes up a little bit more to separate them. Yeah. Oh no, those are the last two. And there it goes, sliding out.
All right, looks like we've got one left.
Almost there.
And we'll close the door back up and pretend nothing ever happened.
Yeah, there you go. One remaining, so 7 of the 8 have been deployed. One more to go. And then we will have completed our first ever payload deploy operation. Just a reminder, we're on a suborbital trajectory. These satellites on that exact same suborbital trajectory, they're going to burn up entirely and are on that same trajectory towards the Indian Ocean. So the last one has been deployed. Starlink
SpaceX employee on the left.
Heck yeah, everybody.
He was getting way too freaky.
The energy from Starbase and Hawthorne.
There we go.
There,
Rests
yeah,
it.
now it's empty.
And then
Looking
she
a little
closes
lonely,
it.
But successfully deployed all the simulator satellites.
Really, really cool to see them all out there. Again, people that have followed know Starlink's really critical for the Starship program. In addition to getting all those views back from the cameras on Starship, which this is an external view. As I said, it's dark outside right now. The
Very
lights are off,
dark.
so it's going to be hard to make stuff out. But in a little while, the sun's going to start coming up as we get to re-entry, which is going to be really critical. We use Starlink for Starship data. Cameras also use it on the cameras that we use to bring you views of these launches and also, hopefully, of the re-entry and splashdown. We'll see what we get from the Indian Ocean today. And that's just kind of how it all comes together. Like, we're using Starlink on the planet, off the planet. And with Starship, we actually get a pretty insane, if you're in the space industry, bandwidth to space is usually pretty minimal. We get about 120 megabits per second. That's split between our high-definition video and real-time telemetry. We get that every phase of flight, including re-entry. So it's not just giving us views of re-entry, but we're getting all of that engineering data in real time through phases that it used to be impossible to get that in real time. So just really incredible.
Yeah, Starlink definitely affords us all this capability. And reminder, it's the world's largest satellite constellation operating in low Earth orbit to deliver high-speed, low-latency broadband internet. This provides internet access to people all around the world, many of whom had never had connectivity before. Today, Starlink serves more than 150 countries, territories, and other markets with over 6 million active customers and counting. To meet the growing global demand for high-speed internet, SpaceX expanded its factory in Bastrop, Texas, and also introduced Starlink Mini, as well as an upgraded version of the Starlink standard kit.
All right, now with payload deploy complete, pew, 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 Starship is now going to close its payload bay door and continue to coast towards Earth, around Earth, towards the Indian Ocean. Sorry, I'm really excited today. We are in space, people. Still a lot of major events to come, though. We are looking to relight one of those Raptor engines at about 37 minutes, 33 seconds into the flight, followed by atmospheric entry, hell of a light show, and splashdown. So we're going to go on a quick break, take a quick coast, sit back, enjoy the views. A little bit dark now, but they'll get better soon. A couple of space jams. We'll be back in just a few minutes for that Raptor relight.
Oh, hell yeah. And I'm muting to avoid the fucking copyright strike they gave me last time. They're like, yo, this is elevator music. You're not allowed to use it. And I'm like, oh, that's too bad. I don't get money from this shit anyways, and you're still copywriting me. I love you, YouTube. It's great. And that door looks to be shut. Yeah, it is. Alright, so they successfully shut the door. Pretty sure you could set up like a duvet in there. Very comfortable area. But anyways, I will be right back. And hopefully that'll be for the engine relight at T plus 37 minutes. Alright, gamers. I've returned for the entry. We had a successful one engine firing. It looked good. The flap looked a little screwed up, but more intrigued about the re-entry bit of this. Hopefully it'll be a good one, not a terrible one. Very bright. Yeah, we should see plasma build up here soon. Yeah, that is stainless steel. That peeled off. Curious why it did that. Be venting. Could have been something in the skirt section that actually ice buildup maybe. Ice got yeeted through and caused damage. It's not a great thing, but just about 45 minutes we should start seeing plasma form. That front flap is looking slick though. Look at that. And that's still a copyright strike waiting for me. God damn it. There we go. There's plasma. Yes, plasma. So we have not seen a re-entry with a V2 ship that wasn't in control. And based off the attitude, it's looking really good. Have attitude control this time. And hopefully it doesn't tear itself apart. The tiles seem to stay on decently well on this side. Thermal blankets seem to got torn back a little bit. I love light shows. It's so good. Ship seems to be holding pretty well. Oh shit. Uh-oh. What did that? Hopefully that isn't critical? I don't know what did that. That just kind of exploded. Vehicle isn't done yet though. It still has hydraulics. That's good. I'm slightly concerned about the engines working, but other than that, oh, that's beautiful. I don't know what's peeling off down at the hinge by what it looks like the leading edge hinge area. I don't know what that is. It looks blue-ish. Should be fine, hopefully. By what it looks like is the back of that F flap is melting a little bit. I don't know what blew up in the bay though. Like, look at that. That's pretty bad structural damage. That was near the R back, so I'm hoping the center will be fine during that. I don't know what blew up there. I think that was a vent line. The flap's still looking alright. Here's how the forward flaps are looking. We don't get all 4 flaps in the camera views, so kind of a bra moment, but should be alright. It's always very entertaining watching these things re-enter. Should be hitting peak heating here in a bit. There's the front flap. Looking good. Looking very good. I don't see a single problem with the front flap. No burn through. That's very good. It's the entire reason V2 kind of exists. I'm slightly concerned about that flap right there. Yeah, it is melting towards the rear hinge. Not bad melting though. Sure, one ship could contest to saying, that melting is not bad at all. That one still made it, so hopefully, I want to see the other side of that. Look at that stainless steel, just flopping around. Skirt section's looking okay. So a lot of things seem to be going wrong with that left main flap. The right one, it's honestly turning out a little better than I thought. Doesn't look as bad. That left main is where the explosion happened and is now kind of being torn apart more. Which leaves me curious, but through 69 kilometers. Nice. Looking very good other than that, though. I'm curious why they wouldn't cant the rear flaps up like they did the forward flaps. I'm sure there's a reason that I just forgot, honestly, but it could probably save them from the burn through that the forward flaps are not getting right now, which is good. See, look at that. No burn through. It's because that plasma isn't able to crawl into the little area between where the flap rotates and the hinge. Or at least the covering for the flap rotational axis. Should be hitting twilight around now, yeah. Planet is very much visible in the background. Oh, look at that. Now that's a good view. They give you G's. While we're at it, I'm gonna yoink a thumbnail. Always need a good thumbnail. I love YouTube. Those catch points are looking alright. They're looking pretty hot. That rear flap doesn't look like it's really burning through anymore. Our max G deceleration, I think, inches up to about, I think like 1.3, 1.4. I don't know, 90% of the time I'm used to what I get in Kerbal, so that's like roughly about 4 Gs that peaks out at, but to be fair, my re-entry angle is not at all as shallow as this. And then they remove it because we're not allowed to have nice things. I love seeing the reflection off the ship. You could see the metal gain its coloration. Beautiful. It's gonna look a little charred as well. It's really cool. No flap burn through on either of them. That's good. These flaps look very good. Curious about the tile loss, but I mean, other than that, yeah, the rear flaps are getting punished. Especially that rear. Oh no, both. Yeah, both are glowing. Yeah, the rear flaps are getting punished really badly right now. That's okay though. They're not crucial. I mean, they are pretty crucial. They're holding the heavy end of the vehicle, but not extremely crucial. You saw many times how much of them could be missing. Yeah, that's not that much missing. That's good. That's fine. We're chilling. That stainless steel held on. I respect it. Yeah, just as long as that hinge stays intact, then we're good. The actuation is one of the most important parts about these. Yeah, there we go. 1.4 Gs. That should only be going up. The denser the atmosphere becomes, the more Gs it's pulling to slow down. And that left main flap is still deteriorating. Now pulling 2 Gs. I think we're at peak deceleration here, so it's gonna start slowing down really fast. I think we'll peak at about like 3.5, I think. That heating's gonna stop being too bad though, so the flaps have a chance to not get torn off. At least the rear ones. Am I being pranked? No, okay. I was about to say, did peak deceleration already happen? Yeah, that catch point's looking really good though. It's still there. The lower hold point is also still there. Just getting a little shaky, but those rear flaps are still actuating as they should, which is good. Whoa, 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 whoa. Uh-oh. Okay, now let's just angle. Okay, we're good. Thought I was about to do a preemptive flip at 8,000 kilometers an hour. But I mean, no, 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 no. Oh yeah, the flap made it through. Look at that. I love the coloring. So good. She has survived. Yeah, so peak deceleration puts it at about 2.4 Gs. Which is pretty good. And that's just about at 40 kilometers. See how much speed that's bleeding off now. The landing bird's coming up. It did survive re-entry. Let's fucking go. V2, the goat. Now those rear flaps need to be addressed. They're never gonna get a break on the flaps, huh? Yeah, V3 of Starship just removes the rear flaps entirely. Or cants them back like they did the forward flaps. Pretty sure there was like speculation that like the rear flaps are probably the most crucial flaps on the vehicle. Like the forward flaps could just be removed and it wouldn't really do much. "25 kilometers. I think we have about another minute until landing burn. Looking good in the Indian Ocean though. Oh yeah. That left rear flap, bro. Brother was getting beat. Can't tell if he's still actuating strong though. Yeah, he is. What a Chad. Work it. Oh, these surfaces are so cool. Three kilometers. Those are some really low level clouds. One kilometer. She's still pushing. Looking good. 1 kilometer. Look for 0.8. Should start the flip. A little lower. Did it? There we go. 0.4. Good flip. Looks good. Good actuation and stable. And on target is what the fuck is the bottom? Oh my god. That is charred, but I mean that's a landing right there. Holy shit. And they said V2 wouldn't work. It only took 4 times. Get fucked. Hell yeah. V2. Ship 37 is carrying, boys. Ship 37 is carrying. So anyways, that's the end of what I'm gonna say, and that's the end of this shit coverage. But as always, hope you enjoy my dead channel. If you did, don't do anything, because it's a dead channel. Anyways, see you on the next one. Whee!